Hey everybody, Alba Hatcher, your trainer in pink here. I wanted to take a moment to discuss a butt wink. So this is a term that you guys have probably seen me use in several of my previous videos, especially pertaining to a squat. So we're going to use Frank here for our demonstration. So Frank, we're looking at a male pelvis here. That's going to, ladies, our pelvis tends to sit a little bit more anterior. The shape of our bowl is a little bit different, as well as each of our ASIS. It's that bone that you can feel here in the front. Those tend to be a little bit wider because we carry and give birth to babies. So let's say here that Frank is going up into a squat. So we have his femur here, pelvis here. That junction where they come together is the acetabulum. You have the head of the femur, neck of the femur. This is all going to be different on each person, okay? So let's say that Frank is coming down into a squat. So as he's coming down, his femur's coming up. There's going to be a limit to how far before these either junction together, they just run into each other, or the muscles no longer feel stable, and so they're not going to allow the hip to go into a place where it's not going to be able to sustain itself. So as that comes up, when you start going down too far, you have what's called a butt wink, okay? So when the movement here hits its limit, but your body and your brain are still saying, hey, I want to keep going, okay? So let's say the movement here, it's hit its limit here. Now the next place that it can move is here, okay? And in the spine, right? So let's say Frank comes down, nice neutral spine throughout the whole movement. It's not perfect, but nice neutral spine throughout the whole movement. And then at the bottom, the first place that it rounds down is here in the pelvis. And then from there, everything else will start to round afterwards with it. All right, because if your brain says, I want to get here, your body's going to do its best to get you there. It's just going to make compensations in order to make it happen. All right, so as we're looking here, so we have each of these, we have your vertebrae, you have the discs between each vertebrae. We're looking at and focusing on the junction between L5 and S1. So the L stands for lumbar spine, the S standing for your sacrum, okay? So right down here, you have, so we're looking at this last disc right here. L5 tends to have a slightly different shape. It tends to be wider in the front than it is in the back. So if I'm here, this is my position, and I'm going down into that squat, right around 90 degrees, normally just past it, you will see somebody's bottom tilt like this. And when that tilt happens, you can see how this opens up that crack. And then from there, the disc is going to, over time, want to slide and move out of that position. We know that people tend to have, lower back pain, bulging discs, herniated discs. L5S1 is where that happens most common, and you're not making it any better by going too deep into a squat. It's actually been proven that you do not gain more muscle activation by going into that deeper squat. And it's at a price of your anatomy, okay? You only got one of these, you can't replace it. So you gotta keep it in good health. A bulging disc is going to be when it pushes, basically the disc starts to move a little bit, and then it's gonna put compression there on a nerve, which can cause sciatic type symptoms, as well as just overall pain. And by the way, typically you don't even start to feel it until it's about 70% compressed. That's a lot, okay? So know that your body always does its best. It's warning you when it's really in trouble, okay? And then you have a bulging disc, which is when the jelly-like substance actually breaks open and then it starts pushing out. So we want to try and avoid injuries. Like I said, you only got one spine, you only got one set of discs in there, and so this is something that you can easily do. So when you're doing a squat, you watch for the butt wink and you stop just before. I hope that you guys find that helpful. If you have more questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help, and let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.